Welcome, as we once again return to not just any spot in Barovia, but the coldest, arguably the most cursed of places, the Amber Temple. After further exploration, encountering the apprentice of a now dead wizard, dealing with him and then retracing that apprentice's steps to the wizard's corpse, and dispatching the monsters inside the room where it dwelt, the group now resumes, free to inspect the spoils and continue their exploration further, barring any opening statements.
No. Yeah, we're good to go.
I'm good.
Then tell me, what shall you do?
Well, did we need to go over the...
We're still looking through the room, right?
You had yet to officially search what is a hallway. Though
Let's search that
the
and
remains
the
are
body.
the remains are obvious in front of you, so it's not like they're hidden
I will
away.
approach carefully what is on it.
Go for
I
the
will
hallway.
overtake Sahar's senses and
Go for the hallway.
scope out what the body has, if any.
The remains.
Careful not to touch anything. I'm just looking at them over.
The remains are thoroughly charred. There is nothing usable that remains on the body. However, there's a staff near it.
I will motion for one of the skeletons, and I will say, "Stand back, everyone. We do not know what will happen." When I grabbed my staff of power, well, a giant bolt of lightning struck out, so let's try not to have any repeats, yes?
I doubt this one is as strong as the wizard that held that staff previously.
We do not know.
Henriksen pipes up. It is never a waste of time to be cautious.
I agree.
That's
And I'll back away,
get the shocked skeleton.
make sure everyone's at least 50. You know, a fireball's 20 feet back, so I'm going to... A fireball's 20 foot, so Sasha's going to back up everyone 25 feet down the hall, and then be like, "Okay, do it now." To the skeleton.
Can they hear you telepathically or no?
No, I think I have to issue verbal commands to them.
Oh,
If
okay.
it makes a difference, you will have to go forward in the hallway to get that much space.
That's fine.
Because the charred corpse is like almost on the other
There's a
side. of
door
the
we have to go through or anything?
No.
Okay.
We'll back
If
up
it mattered
and move
at all,
forward.
there's
It
still
doesn't.
hallway.
We just get to a space where if a fireball goes off, the only thing that will get hit with it is the skeleton.
But with a single skeleton.
The group backs up, prepares itself. The skeleton reaches out and picks up the staff.
Any noticeable change?
No.
I hear scratching at the door. The enemy is upon us. No.
There's scratching elsewhere. Perhaps it is something.
Bring it here.
It walks over.
Before it gets all the way to me, I'm going to command the shield guardian to take the staff from it. Does anything happen to the shield guardian? Because maybe it's something that isn't undead.
Something...
If it's like an energy drain or something, it wouldn't affect the skeleton. Also, there are spells that change what spells trigger off of. Like, that's the point of Nistel's magic aura, is to appear like another type of creature for the purpose of setting off magical traps like glyphs of warding. Because you can have glyphs of warding be like, the next time an elf steps here, this happens. And if someone who's all now steps on it, it doesn't trigger. So,
Would
Sasha's...
that work if the conditions are the next time an enemy?
That's too vague.
Okay.
I'm scanning because I'm not sure if a shield guardian is able to be in here.
Oh. Well, then if the shield guardian can't be in here, I will,
I think you would have had to have, like, broken the large enough hole. I think the hallway might be big enough, but the doorway wouldn't have. So it depends on whether or not you were cool with busting.
Yeah. I take my shield guardian everywhere, David.
Okay, so then
It's the
technically-
Visa card of Barovia. Accepted everywhere.
Technically, there was some destruction, and then flame skulls happened, and then you dealt with flame skulls.
So I thought you were going to go with the hover
It-
rod reference.
It then takes the staff, as you've commanded, from the skeleton.
Has anything happened?
No.
Alright, I take the staff from it.
You take staff from it.
Yes.
This is very nice.
What does it look like?
It is finely carved. It's made of wood, but the hue of wood, while brown, is like brown enough that it almost edges on blue.
Huh.
It is not like displeasurable, but it is also cool to your touch.
Interesting. I'll identify it. Give me a moment. Look around. I will have this sorted out in no time.
Okay.
And I will identify the, Actually,
So
would everyone like to take a breather? It'll give me some time to look over this. Or do we want to wait?
I mean, I don't need to gain anything.
Yeah, we aren't doing damage or anything. You know what? Never mind. I'll just identify. We won't short rest.
Well,
We'll
he's
save
doing-
it. We'll save it for later.
While he's doing that,
Casimir nods.
toss the
Yes,
room.
it would be best to press ahead.
this is a new one, right? So
And I'll take 10 minutes to identify what the staff is.
You take 10 minutes to identify
I see.
what
nine.
the staff is.
Tante Rosata. Tante Mr. Ben. Hazata.
Yeah, it's kind of like
So, I want to give it to you for future because it is a staff of frost. If they spell frost weird for whatever reason,
Right.
Was it not FORST?
It could be like a German thing, like with,
FRAU?
castle. I don't know.
FRAUST?
you know, if you're
Because then I
not,
think that's somebody's name.
you know, if Shogun wasn't accepted everywhere, I'd say that at the very least it could hold the door.
Shut up, Jeff.
okay. I lied. It's not spelled weird, but there is an effect that I wanted to articulate in here instead, so that you don't straight up look it up. There's some special instructions. Like there's like a section or a book
Dope.
that details this particular item for like Ravenloft. There's some
Right. It's a little different than it is before. But otherwise, it is a normal Staff of Frost.
yes.
Okay.
Was the group searching and resting or
No,
Yeah,
we just
searching the room.
spending 10 minutes
oh,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
find.
yeah. Got a little distracted.
Now, I'm the only one, aside from Casimir, who I'm not even sure if he counts necessarily, who can attune the staff, so not to be greedy, but out of character, I'm going to take this too. Unfortunately, it has a specific requirement that it must be attuned by a wizard, druid, sorcerer, and I think that's it. Maybe warlock. So unfortunately, neither
Caster
Irina...
class.
Well, no, because otherwise Irina and Esmeralda would be able to attune it, but they're not full casters. They're clearly an Eldritch Knight and an Arcane. I'm guessing
Once you are-
Esmeralda's like an Arcane Trickster of some kind. Or maybe she's also an Eldritch Knight. I don't know, but it's
Probably.
clear she's not like a primary
They don't put like a name to
spellcaster.
it.
So,
She does, like, once you're obviously done, ask, well, what does it do? But apart from her, nobody expresses interest in the staff and is content to either search the room or let you do your thing.
it is a Staff of Frost. It's capable of conjuring ice spells from it.
Sounds useful. And funny to find it in a place like this. It's already so cold.
Perhaps it is appropriate.
What did you get?
19.
What did you get?
I got 9 and Crackle, so is it as cold as ice?
But it is.
I'm going to inspect.
Okay.
I'm double checking some things. Because while this hallway is mostly straightforward, it does occupy entrances to other rooms.
Alright.
But how important will those be to your senses? Is my true question.
Yeah, well, again, I probably don't see that much.
Hey, maybe it doesn't require super high.
At this point,
There's some
in the
things
game?
that just require, just proficiency in a skill. Sometimes.
The group finds nothing in their search of this hallway that they have not already found. Though, bonus fact, none of the doors on the side or at the end are locked whenever who encounters them tests them. Like, there's a moment where, like, you're just, real quick, you're not going to open it, but you're like, alright, there's some give. It's not locked.
Okay.
There's a moment where, Ismark very carefully, like, tests a different door, and like, it's not locked.
Let us hurry. There are many magical secrets here I would enjoy getting my hands upon.
Do you have a sense of a direction to go?
We must look everywhere, yes? Let us go everywhere.
For a reminder, there are 3 doorways to the left of the hall, and then a double door at the end of the hall.
I re-up my detection, or detect evil and good. If there's any demons or undead within, I think it's 30 feet of me. Demons, undeads, elemental aberrations,
Fae.
fae, celestials, yes.
I feel like there's another one.
Nope, it's 6.
This time, you do pick up on one.
What specifically?
Undead.
Undead?
Okay.
And it is
A single undead? Stop dropping that.
a single undead, yes.
Single undead.
It is close. It is through the farthest, or no, it is through the closest of the 3 side doors.
Let us go. I think we should go this way. I'm sensing an undead signature.
Similar to the motion to the skulls.
I do not know specifics. I only know that it is undead. And it is alone.
Irina thinks a moment and takes
At least among its own kind.
takes out, or puts a hand on the mace that she's got.
Let's go.
For sake of description, and nothing else, how is the group entering?
Probably at the head.
For visual aid.
How big is the doorway?
We're just walking in. We're not really. We're too big to be stealthy without invisibility spells, so.
I don't know if the shield golem can be stealthy, really.
You can always try.
You can always try. It's a normal sized doorway.
So
So the shield guardian's gonna have to break it to go through?
It would have to, yes.
I'll leave it out for now. Or I'll wait till we see what's inside before deciding if I want the shield guardian to bust its way through or not.
as a single person door?
Yes.
Okay.
And for visual aid's sake, I'm not positive where the markers are at this moment.
Where's the front and where's the back?
This is
The front?
hallway wall, so this would be front.
Okay. If we're still doing it like we did before, it will be... was the position.
Ah,
Oh, wait.
wait. Is this one of the auxiliary markers?
I'm not sure.
I would like to use the ones that we
Oh,
normally use if possible.
Here, I got.
Once you read on the raging, I was going to ask you.
Let's use this one. This one's better. And there are more here if you need them.
Snap. Okay. So 4. Let's see. This is a door.
So insanity is a wisdom save, right?
What?
Insanity is a wisdom. Causing someone to go insane. That's a wisdom save.
Sometimes, yeah.
Madness? I think madness is just a flat out spell, isn't it?
No. There's
Yeah.
a spell called Symbol of Insanity, but that's a different thing.
Ah.
Just wondering.
The hallway, I've just been reminded by the map, is 40 feet across.
Too late.
So I guess I'm gonna, for visual aid's sake, move you up,
Right.
and then Ismark will defer to you unless you express that don't want to go through the door first, in which case he will.
No. And I mean, it's undead, so assuming I'm just going to make it open the door and march in.
You throw open the door and march in, gaining the attention immediately of the undead inside, who is dressed in very nice, if old, robes. You would almost assume it's a wizard, except it has a skeletal-ish face. Bare bits of skin that, like, cling to its almost clean surface. The figure, like, turns around as you open the door, and you see that it does not have eyes, mere pinpricks of light for eyes. It,
Can I roll Religion or Arcana?
Sure. Religion would be the most logical.
20.
So, there are a couple of members of your party that tense up, which give you a hint, but you're already going through. You've read about these. You think that this is a lich. It looks at you quizzically. And who are you?
It speaks.
Yes, it does. Let me handle this. Excuse me. I assume you're one of the wizards from this tower?
Yes. At least I think.
Now, out of character, didn't we learn this guy's name a couple sessions ago?
Yes.
It was Xanther, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Xanther, I am Sasha,
There's like a spark in his eyes.
a Vishtani wizard. I've come seeking the knowledge of the Amber Temple.
I welcome you very much, as I would any who wish to study this place.
I wish to learn its secrets.
Then you will be looking for the library, no doubt.
Yes, I very much am.
Forgive me, perhaps I've been here too long. I wish to direct you to the library, but I'm not certain at this moment where it is.
Have you forgotten?
Perhaps. My mind is so sharp, so powerful. It would be strange of me to have forgotten.
I agree. Perhaps, I mean no insult, something has happened to you. Some sort of effect in which you are not aware of.
Perhaps.
When was the last time you had a soul inserted in your phylactery?
I don't know. But
It could be the process of demilichification that is causing your mind to Waver. Do you mind if I inspect you? I am a doctor.
Well, if you insist, it did not take too long. I was in here looking for...
I'd like to roll a medicine
something.
check to tell what's happened to his memory, and if it's something that's reversible.
He holds up like a bottle that has like a little bit of dust inside it. Though I have been having some difficulty finding it.
Does it look like a liquor bottle?
No.
Okay.
It does not. That would be funny, but no.
Oh, so you have your phylactery on you. The bottle.
No, this was one of the potions stored here. I was positive, but I'm not finding any. At least none that are not dried up like this.
I've been led to believe potions do not wither.
Oh, they can. With time.
As you inspect him,
It is rare.
those who are not uneasy about this development, which people can decide themselves, are able to look at the room a little bit more and see that there are stone blocks resembling tables that stand in the center of this room that are covered in dust. Carved into the stone walls are niches filled with hundreds of dusty bottles, much like the one that he is holding. Cobwebs hang from wooden ladders that lean against the walls. What did Sasha get?
I got a 21 on my medicine check.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask him some questions about when he started losing his memory. And then I'm also going to give him a physical check over, see if anything's wrong with him,
Okay.
bodily wise.
I need nothing but skin and bones. Use the skin.
You find the obvious that he is dead. But that is not. That is not.
I'm sorry, sir. It appears that you have died.
Got no heartbeat.
While Sasha expects it, there are some more clinical memory-based tests that you can run to confirm, and there has been a significant degradation of mind. It's difficult to determine the cause because, well,
But is it
if he's a lich, then he shouldn't be suffering that at all.
right? Do I think it could be due to demilichification or something else? Oh, yeah, you said I don't know the cause.
Now,
Is it something that can be reversed?
you
with
find
magic?
no signs that point to any obvious magical tampering, which logically means you could reverse this as you would with a normal person.
Oh. Well, I have good news for you. We can fix you, of course. Van Richten, if you please.
Van Richten steps forward, a little cautiously so. Yes.
We'll
Close
start our
as
friend
well.
here.
That would be a feat to behold.
He turns Xanther, was it? And the one, like, his eyes like flare again, like the first time he used his name, and goes, yes. He says, would you mind giving us a moment to talk? He says, talk as you will. I still have to find that potion wherever it was. And he turns and he trots over to a different spot of still like empty and cobweb bottles and like waves away at cobweb and then takes out a bottle and starts inspecting it. Erickson says, I too am curious about the information he has, but restoring him could make him more dangerous.
It's good. It'll also make him more powerful, which means he will be in a better position to help us, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Would people of his kind be willing to assist us? Would he not simply be allied with Strahd?
If he was, why would he be here? Besides,
And in
if he
fact,
turns against us, we outnumber him 8-1. And think of everything we could gain. Is that not why we're here, right, Casimir?
In the middle of a thoughtful look, Casimir like juts in and says, yes, There's no telling what he
See?
could know.
The man speaks sense.
And
Come now, Ripton.
even such a thing as this could not truly pose danger to us, even if it wished.
Yes. And I'm sure he will be grateful to you and to us for restoring his memory. I can roll
Van Richten-
persuasion if you need.
Van Richten pauses and has a look across the room. Ismark
keeping an eye
turns
on.
and asks, what do you two think?
As in us.
Yes.
Alright.
Apart from Irina, you two are the people that Ismark knows best.
Do I hear Ismark say this?
Yeah, because he's
Oh, come now. I'm the wizard here? When have I led you wrong? I assure you, nothing will go wrong.
If anything does, we can just crack his skull.
See?
I have nothing to draw upon, but if you do not think it would be a difficult battle if you were to turn,
No, we will be fine. Trust me.
Turning to Van Richten then.
Irina doesn't say anything, but she does kind of nod, like that makes sense.
Turning to Van Richten then.
Seeing other people who are like seasoned adventurers has her a little doubtful, but given she spent more time with you and
She trusts me.
Whatever.
She has no reason not
like
to.
it's a little weird, but at the same time it does make sense.
Can I prepare an action?
Sure. To do what?
At the moment that he's restored, if he seems, it could be like if he seems to attack or get ready to attack, can I attack him? Well, attack him.
I think you can prepare an action for if someone attacks you.
Yeah.
It sounds a little weird, but I would imagine you
I'll
could.
look over to Van Richten. I am worried as well, but probably close while it's being done.
Then I shall do it. He approaches the Lich, who is inspecting putting back like a third bottle, and shakes his head. No, not that one either. He turns as Van Richten approaches and says, we have conferred, and now I wish to help you. The Lich nods and says, yes, if you will. But are you sure you're not interested in the library? Van Richten says, perhaps after this.
As he's casting, I will prepare if he attacks to retaliate.
Van Richten works a spell upon the creature. And you can visibly see a more intelligent look take the creature's face. He then takes you all in as if anew.
Hello, Xanther.
In particular, Sasha and Casimir seem to catch his look's attention. And then when you speak, it says, excellent. You know of me.
Yes, we helped you.
Hmm.
You were undergoing some sort of memory degradation of some kind, but my friend Octavio here managed to cast a spell of restoration upon your mind.
Is that the name you were given or giving him, or?
Yeah,
Oh,
Octavio.
He lifts. You can tell he wasn't ecstatic about it, but he did it. Guarded, but still a little emotional. Xanther says, well, that is most excellent. I don't think I would be able to help you as well otherwise. If you know of me, then you know of my duty here to make sure that the knowledge of this place is shared and shared freely.
See? What did I tell you? It would only be in our best interests. Now, you mentioned something about a library.
If I did, then that would make sense. There is a library here that houses a great deal of knowledge, in addition to the sarcophagi themselves.
Now, the knowledge stored here, would that happen to be the knowledge of the spells that were researched, yes?
That and more. Likely anything that you would need would be housed here. Anything discovered.
Interesting. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Example.
Casimir, this is and the secret to resurrect the long dead. That is here. He stops. He goes, yes, but it is deeper within. I would be more than happy to show you there.
Yes, that would be excellent, example. But I have another question for you. This is the place where Strahd became vampire, yes?
Oh yes, quite a day.
So the secret to becoming a vampire is here.
Yes. I
Interesting.
remember it like it were yesterday. I could tell when he came here that he was a man of destiny.
So it seems. Well,
After-
fortunately for him, that destiny is going to come to an end, but that is neither here nor there. We are here to stop the devil. I assume you do not care one way or the other, otherwise why would you be here? Yes?
You are correct. I am
See?
an ambassador of knowledge.
Very well.
The darkness
friends
that
here
dwells
were-
within this place would do me happy to see it spread and take root, wherever it may.
Well, there is nothing innately dark of knowledge, though some people may wish to use it that way. I mean, you have not murdered anyone, and my friends were afraid that, being a lich, you were going to disintegrate one of us, and look what happened.
Don't you have to murder people to become a lich?
No.
Oh. I thought it was like some sacrificial ritual.
I believe what you are all looking for lies in the same direction. And if you would follow me.
Yes. I have a question though. Spellbooks, and we're gonna say this while we're out walking. I'm gonna stand to Xanther's side, and I'm going to say, you see, spellbooks obviously are nice and appreciated, but in this place, I've had so much trouble obtaining inks. Do you know where I can get some? I mean, you must have supplies to copy into your spellbook, of course, being a powerful lich such as yourself. Perhaps you would accept some barter for inks.
Would any have survived the passage of time?
I may be able to help you.
The inks are magic. They should survive.
As are the potions?
Looking. He leads you back through the room with the barbarians who tense up quite noticeably as you walk through, but otherwise don't give you any trouble. He then takes you to the hallway that also possessed the front entrance, but takes you down one of the large stairs to a lower floor of the place. He then leads you across it to a patch of wall that he gestures, and a secret door opens, and he starts taking you up some stairs.
I will turn to the others now and say, see how convenient this has been? And you doubted me.
Yeah, the guy with the fucking man-eating tiger.
Esmeralda nods. This has been convenient, though I am still a little leery. I've never met a completely innocent undead.
The tales of good undead walking the land are few and far between.
And tales are tales. Come down. The tales would also tell you that Strahd could be defeated with garlic. And I'm sure that is not the case as well either, yes?
Those are the tales of man.
Rictavio says perhaps some tales are better listened to than others. you are led
Sasha is super dismissive of this.
into
Well, yeah,
a
you're
stone
fucking Sky Knight
library that has 20-foot high walls and 30-foot high vaulted ceiling. For what it's worth, Xanter spared an admiring nod at your shield golem before continuing his way. I just realized he reacted to it. It's
okay.
like, cool.
We're going at normal pace, right?
Yeah.
That means we can check the room and stuff.
We'd probably have to stop.
You would have to stop, but you were not apart from the lower level large room that you're taken through, you're not taken through new rooms. If you had wanted to stop in that big room and inspect it, then you would have had to ask him to stop. In which case he might have. You are now stopping in this room that is the library if you were interested in inspecting it.
We'll probably have to go back
That's
anyway.
where we're supposed to go.
We'll probably have to go back anyway.
And then we'll go to the big room.
There's a black marble railing that encloses a gold marble staircase that spirals gently down a 30-foot wide, 30-foot deep shaft to the north.
Oh.
Against the gray walls stand 6 10-foot tall black marble staircases. On their shelves are hundreds of well-preserved volumes. Embroidered rugs, chairs, and lit candelabras fill the southern half of the room. Xanther gestures and says, "This is the library that I spoke of, and the stairs lead to the place beneath that house the more potent of the amber sarcophagi, where I believe your friend would be interested in going."
Excellent, excellent. Tell me, is there some trick or secret to these rooms or the sarcophagi that I should know of?
The sarcophagi have no trick. Casimir is leaving right now. He doesn't wait for Xanther's explanation, so unless anybody wants to stop him, he's gonna-
Sasha's just listening to Xanther, but someone else probably should.
Yeah, fucking might want to hear this.
He attempts to throw you off, but obviously that's not happening. Says, "I already know how they work. I don't need this. You said that what I need is down there, and it is down there."
If these are more potent, they may be different. As it has been shown to me, not all magic is the same.
Come now, Casimir, stop arguing. The faster we get through Xanther's fabulous explanation, the faster we can both get what we want, yes? Besides, you will still need to go, as you said, to Castle Ravenloft, and unless you plan on going there yourself,
He looks at you
you
and
will have to wait for us.
sulkily laxes.
Trust me,
Xanther
if your
laughs.
sister is dead, she can wait a couple more days.
Xanther laughs. "I am quite amused by your enthusiasm. It is excellent that this place continues to draw people so interested. As I was saying, the amber sarcophagi. To interact with them, you merely touch it, and then the entity within, housed scraps of dark beings from beyond, names, identities lost to time, will offer you a gift. If you accept this gift, then there will be a price paid, but such is the nature of gaining anything in this world."
It is dependent upon the entity, what that price would be.
Yes, I assume each price would be different.
As for the library, there are passwords, as there are on the tombs that house the amber sarcophagi. There are also passwords to the books, all of which I know. So, I can help you into any one that you wish.
Very well, I would like to know the passwords to all of these books. What happens if you take the book and you don't speak the password?
If you take it, the pages will be blank.
Oh.
A protective
Clever.
measure invented by those who originally were here. Wizards that hope to keep the secrets contained. Though, if you're a student of history, you know how well that worked out for them.
Yes,
How
yes.
long you
I assume it's some sort of illusory script spell, yes?
Very likely. I am
Interesting.
impressed with your knowledge.
Thank you.
I've been here for quite some time. It is difficult to keep track, but I've been here for at least 100 years.
And did these dark beings make you what you are now?
Yes. It is within this very place that I found the secret
To Lichdom.
to Lichstone.
It is here.
Yes.
Fascinating. Vampirism and Lichdom all in one place.
Yeah. May I ask what you gave up?
Nothing important.
So he says.
Though if you are interested, I believe the entity will detail this to you.
Well,
Your specific one?
my friend here, although quite skilled,
Of course.
is not an arcane caster. Lichdom is beyond him. Unfortunately for you.
That's fine. I have other activities to do.
Now,
Although I must admit the idea of a Kenku Lich does tickle me in a sort of morbid, humorous sort of way.
Would the beak be there, or would it not be? Like,
Now you know why Sasha finds it kind of funny to think about.
interesting question.
How does a Kenku Lich look like? Yes, well, these passwords, yes, let's,
Yes. Tell me, what are you looking for? As I said, this library houses anything you can desire.
No.
And
anything.
out of character, if you take the time, or since you have Xanther with you, he can just tell you, you can... Let me double check here. Okay. I wanted to make sure like it specified, and it did. This place holds, in addition to tomes of like vile lore, any spell. In the book it says from the player's handbook, but I'm going to say every spell because that makes more sense. It's been here for a while. So since Xanther can guide you, you don't have to take the time. You can just name a spell, and he will point it out, and he will tell you how to open the book, and
Every
then
spell.
you can have it.
he mentioned that there is a password that's required to access the tombs, right? I don't know if he said.
Yes.
Okay.
As he is willing to explain again, there are passwords that you need to enter some of the vaults with the amber sarcophagi on other floors, as well as passwords for the books here.
Looking straight at. Looking at Alexander,
I assume.
and then looking straight at
Actually,
fucking,
Never mind. I forgot about my phone.
then looking straight at him. Just,
Casimir asks, does that conclude your explanation? And he says, yes, it does. While the rest of your comrades are looking up here, feel free. What you seek is below.
Oh, some of you should go with him. I'm fine here. I think we should,
as we're moving,
I will be
he's,
spending time here.
I assume he's moving immediately. It's like,
If you have need of me,
going
you
down.
know where to find me, but I ask that you do not disturb me.
Do not forget to ask about the ink.
Of course. Come. There's much to look at.
Yes.
Every
Now-
motherfucking spell.
Because I'm
No,
moving down with
Xanther, about those inks. Yeah, we have things to trade, of course, if that is of the concern.
It would be. And I
Yes.
believe that there are some stores. It is quite valuable, however.
We have things of value as well. And Sasha's gonna try to. I mean, you can switch to them, but Sasha's gonna be trying to bark more ink out of them.
So,
Also, probably would have
You-
mentioned to you.
I mean,
how
I have
much-
500 gold worth of ink anyway, but I have access to every spell here.
you
So
are following. You said you wanted to follow after him.
Oh yeah, no, none of us are going alone anywhere. Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm curious. I was about to say, who else? There's only one other person at the table. It's not an NPC. Both of those don't make sense. What is Crack doing?
there's any knowledge Crack has been looking for, or anything he wants to know, this is the place.
Alright.
Maybe.
Now I'll try to get flight, I guess. Because why not? He's a fucking kinky. How to fly.
The secret of flight
Exactly.
without magic?
Do you know all the things these sarcophagi offer?
I paused for a minute thinking about his response, but his response is, yes, I have gone over all of them.
Does one of them give the secret of flight to someone who cannot otherwise access that sort of magic?
They do.
Then once you're done taking my friend, once you're done helping Casimir, can you take my friend? He would be very interested.
I was going to stay with you as
Oh,
The
yes.
books
Oh, I thought he was saying
We'll
that
go.
there was a password
Crack.
required for where we're going.
Go with Casimir. When I'm done here, we will go do that for you. Yes?
there are some vaults that require passwords, which you guys have already run into a couple, so you already know about that. And the books require passwords to get into, which he knows.
Okay, but none of the amber tombs are necessarily in the vault we're going towards.
He did not mention you needing a password to get into wherever you're going down there.
Okay, misunderstanding.
Alright. Well, what are you going to do for right now? Are you staying up here, or are you heading down the stairs with them?
I guess I'll head downstairs. Because I want to.
Okay. Irina is already staying up here. Ismark looks but decides that he says, like, as Siguror is going, I'm going to stay up here. Venrikton and Esmeralda seem to confer with one another as Esmeralda says, I think I will stay up here and take a look at what's going on. And Venrikton says, I will accompany, and he points downwards, and I will accompany them down there. They do.
I'll wait for you to finish and then I'll start.
Make sure, do each of us have a signal whistle?
Yes,
Okay, because I have like 2 written down here. It's like,
because I
Did
already had one.
right, okay. I was like, did I get a couple and forget to hand them out to somebody?
I remember you bought them for people.
Yeah.
Making sure I have the right location. Yeah, I do. And I'm going to describe it to you in about a moment. Passing by these things.
So even split.
Okay, so I know what's
You think
on
right
this
away.
thing.
Yoink. Yoink. Obviously. So I have a visual representation. I'm going to put you guys over here. So you guys are going down. These people are staying up. The people going down
Taking the low road.
get to travel the spiral staircase that goes down for 30 feet, hugging the northern wall as it spirals gently downwards. You come to the middle of a room. Inside this room, or rather this room, contains amber-covered walls, much like the rest of the place, that are sculpted to look like tentacles that entwine around marble bas-reliefs of kings, queens, pharaohs, and sultans, attended by a myriad of slaves. The west, south, and east walls contain alcoves. Standing in each alcove is a tall, rough block of amber, recognized as the amber sarcophagi. We've already encountered some before. There are 2 wide cracks that have opened up in the south wall, spilling rubble and shattered pieces of amber onto the floor in the southeast corner of the room. Additionally, the room also contains 6 wooden crates that smell ripe.
Where those cracks are, do they seem
I
like
should have looked around.
there were sarcophagi there before?
Let Let me confer with the map, because maybe.
Okay.
We're gonna look around.
No, but you can see that there's like a room beyond the cracks.
So there
You'd
is
have to
still...
like squeeze and get in there, but you could.
Alright.
Casimir quickly begins, marches over to one of the 3 amber sarcophagi and touches it. You said you were checking out the room?
Yeah, I got 22.
You got a 22.
Yeah, on perception.
You do that, and the room is nice. The carvings, like you get a closer up look, and you're like, those are nice carvings. Those are old carvings. The only thing that you really notice on closer inspection of the room is that there's like there's some dirt coming out of a couple of the crates. It wasn't super noticeable when you get out close. You're like,
Okay.
it's leaking a little bit.
How big are these crates?
Pretty big.
Like big enough
They're
for...
rectangular, so they're larger than your normal crate.
Well, say in character, there's some dirt coming out of these crates, and then since he's touching the
You feel a hand on your shoulder. It's Van Richten.
Just do it.
Yeah. He,
You turn to look. There's Siguror. You look straight. There's Siguror.
as you start to, that'd be cool. As you start to say that, he like nods and kind of cuts you off. Yes, quite uninteresting. I'm afraid it's nothing compared to up above, but perhaps it would be best to let Casimir finish, or let our companion finish his business.
Snap a realization, because probably seen that before with what happened in the past. I think I know what those are.
It is about this time that Casimir like marches through and says that wasn't the right one. Interesting, but not it. And like touches a different one and closes his eyes.
Can I touch that same one?
Yeah, you can.
Alright,
You have to walk up and touch it. You touch it.
Perhaps that's not touched.
Boy, do you.
I'm not gonna stop Casimir, because what the fuck ever.
You touch it, and it feels, you aren't actually, but it feels like you're plunged into ice cold water. Chillingly, a voice that is not a voice, and yet is, speaks to you. It says, so you finally reach out.
Yeah.
I have heard you speak, and I may grant you what you seek if you seek it in earnest. I offer you the dark gift of Temporus. The road will not be easy for you, as you must first gain the power of magic. My gift is not but a pittance of foolishness to any who is incapable of casting the highest of magics. For I offer you the chance at life eternal as a lich. If you gain such power and craft a phylactery that you can imbue with your own soul, I will grant you the knowledge necessary to concoct the bitter elixir that will quench the life of the living and your desire for life ever after. Only upon
Just what? I'm gonna take my hand off.
You take your hand off, and it almost feels like it was kind of stuck.
Almost. Hands off, and my voice is stopped.
It is at this point that there is a shout from the other side of the room. You look up in time, and you're already able to see, and Merrick's already able to see, your comrade, Casimir. He turns around, and you see his skin withering and cracking. You see, like, his flesh not decaying, but almost shriveling. For a moment, he stands, slack-jawed, and then he looks up with cold, dead eyes.
Immediately running at him.
Since Van Richten is close to you... No, he's not. He's close to you. Never mind. You, since Van Richten was semi-close to you, see that Van Richten is a little paused. You start running at him, to which he holds up his hand. No, stop! I've done it. I've found what I desire.
What was the price?
He looks at himself. It would seem this.
Does he look like he's still like decaying and dissolving?
No. He has stopped now, but now he looks like a zombie. I've done it. I've found what I need. Won't be long. Won't be long now. We should leave this place. I have the means to resurrect my sister. Though I will need to travel with you to Castle Ravenloft. There our paths will diverge. She is likely held in the crypts.
Just making sure it wasn't talked about in the past already. Like, did they kill the sister, or was that Strahd? They did, right?
Yes.
Is her body not at the camp? I was under the impression you, people, had saved her from his grasp by snuffing out.
Yes, but that did not keep her with us. He took every woman. Or at least he tried. She's suffered so long, but now it will be over. She's redeemed herself, she's found the light, and now she will be amongst the living, or at least as soon as I can get to her.
Your sister. How tall was she? The last you'd seen her. Basically, now I'm thinking of all three of the brides, and if like any of them, because I know they were all three different heights. That I'm like remembering. If any of them match like whatever height he gives. I have a sneaking suspicion.
That's a weird question to ask, and I don't see the relevance. We must
It is
go.
It is an assumption. Strahd had 3 brides when we had last seen him. If he was as hard pressed as you say,
Oh no.
to have this one,
No, it couldn't have possibly been her. I know it. A still tense Rictavio asks, and how is it that you are so certain? Casimir pauses and formulates an answer. In the meantime, upstairs is happy fun spell time. So to speak.
yeah, you and your books.
Yep, me and my books.
2 books.
Are you still looking up spells that you want?
No, first I will need a spell of telepathic bonding. Then I will need a copy of a book, or I will need a book on the scrying. I will need a book on mentally contacting other planes of existence. I will need a book of the divination spell, yes. I will also need a book of object, or I will need a spell of object animation, and I will need a spell of... There was one more I wanted to do. What was it?
Vampire Slaying.
Clearly.
What a specific and useful spell.
Does Corpse Explosion work on zombies?
It's not a D&D spell, but maybe. At the very least, the spells that you've already named, Xanther says, that should be agreeable. In fact, I think that these three should do it, at least for that start.
And a spell of sunlight, yes?
Yes. He walks over, he picks out like 4 books. When he comes back over, it is noteworthy that 2 of the books look more like spell books than normal academic books.
Right.
As he takes his turns utilizing phrases and then opening them, their content seemingly writing themselves before you, though you know that is not quite the case.
Right. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, my good man. Camarina,
He turns, yes. And for you, what spells are you interested in? Irina, I'm not sure what to ask for. Is there a spell that is particularly effective against vampires? Or perhaps the undead? Not to make offense?
What's that spell? Use the spectral ghost hand that strangles the shit out of undead.
that's a cantrip.
Oh, it's just like, wait a minute.
I also don't think it works against undead.
No, it does. It just does something different.
I think it makes
It makes them afraid of you.
I think it makes
Weird.
it where they try to attack you, they also have disadvantage on everything.
Xanther says, "Oh, no offense taken. I guarantee that I fear nothing from you. As for spells, there are a great many things that could be effective against vampires, a great many things that could be effective against a number of things.
I've heard a spell to help resist mental control. It should be castable by you.
I don't know the name off the top of my head, but Xanther knows what you're talking about.
It's
Or names
actually
it.
one of the new spells. Thought Shield, 2nd level, when you have to make an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma save, like when, say, Strahd tries to charm you, you gain resistance to psychic damage and advantage on that roll.
Point.
So,
Exactly.
that's low enough level that she could cast, or will be able to cast soon, and then it'll be useful to her if Strahd tries to charm her.
Xanther knows what we're talking about and names it and says, yes, how about we find that?
Reaction self, I'm guessing?
Yeah, reaction self. It's one of the new psychic spells they added, but it is uniquely useful to Irina because Strahd's going to try charms on people, so...
He grabs a small red velvety looking book, utilizes its phrase, and takes her over to one of the chairs and says, here you go. Irina nods and says, thank you. And starts doing what she will. Xanther turns, and do you, speaking to Esmeralda, have magical proclivity yourself? To which she responds, yes, somewhat. I think I may be able to manage on my own. He says, impossible. Faced with such a wealth of knowledge, how could you reject such a thing? I assure you but there's something here that will absolutely be useful to anyone. It possesses, likely, all the spell knowledge that ever has been. Perhaps that might be a bold claim, but certainly a run for it. She says, I may look at something if you give me a moment. Okay.
Of course.
He turns, and what of you, young man? Ismark says, it's not for me. He says, unfortunate. But there is a place for your sort, too, in this world. Ismark, for reference of, I guess, nobody, because people are busy, but for what it's worth, Ismark is like, kind of frown, kind of not. Maybe thinks to himself, I'm not sure if it's possible to offend this guy, but everybody else is at least kind of scared of him, so I guess I won't say anything. This is weird. I want people to come back.
Safety numbers.
Okay, that's all the... So I added...
God, how long?
Obviously, it's
how
gonna...
long is that going to take?
Oh, it's going to take the whole, like, a day. Now, the thing is, most of the spell I added are divination spells, which I can do in half the time and for half the price, which is why I got to do so many on my 500 gold budget. Still, it's going to take the rest of the day, but I've added Rary's Telepathic Bond, Scrying, Contact Other Plane, Animate Objects, Dawn, and Divination to my spellbook. And then I'm going to try to barter for more ink and then use that to obtain more spells.
Also, for a reference for yourself, and probably nobody else would have mentioned that if need of gold was needed, there has been some that's been saved.
Yes, yes. I am quite low after the acquisition of the magic items.
Your comrades return when you have begun what you are doing. Coming back up. You may or may not be distracted with what you are doing, but Irina, almost shouts, but then, stifles a shout upon seeing Casimir, as he is now. Esmeralda doesn't stifle anything, but doesn't shout, but asks, what happened to you?
I will look up.
Your comrades have returned, but Casimir appears to be dead. He is walking. He's clearly animate, but he has the appearance now of a zombie. He answers,
Are you undead?
I have achieved... I don't think it matters.
Well,
I have achieved my goal, and now let's depart to Castle Ravenloft, or when you are leaving, I mean.
yes. I will take some time. I have much research to do before we can go back to Castle Ravenloft, and I only have supplies for one teleportation spell, so we will have exactly one chance to do this and to do it correctly. So, I need to work. Thank you. I'm sure you can find something to do while you... And then he'll just trail off as he goes back to writing.
Van Richten says, we have also found something that might be of interest to everyone.
Yes? What is it?
I believe, if I am to assume correct, there are maybe guests below us.
What do you mean? Stop speaking in riddles.
Boxes full of dirt.
Dirt?
Believe bodies to be housed in them.
So there are corpses downstairs. So what?
Like Strahd.
You think there are vampires downstairs?
Look to Van Richten.
Van Richten?
Yes.
Then let us go and kill them, and then I must do everything around here. And he'll slam the book shut, obviously annoyed, and he'll get up with the staff and say, come on then. Dear, I swear. Xanther, will you excuse us for a moment? Apparently, I will not be able to do my work until these vampires are dead. Yes?
You have all the time you need.
Thank you.
If your books are more pressing, why not simply send your new acquisition to do it instead of doing anything yourself then?
Because you're going to keep disturbing me, and I'm sure whatever fight you will have will make noise, and that's why I will not be able to focus. So let us go down and do it quickly. Crack. Are you ready? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, thank you. See? He knows how to be quiet. That's why I like him the most. And that's aimed at Siguror.
You get your share of looks, but
And he's going down the stairs first. Like, he's not waiting for formation. He's...
people fall.
Sahar! And he'll cast a spell.
Wait, would Sahar been away from you?
Probably just kind of looking over the whole area instead of being on my shoulder.
Well, I mean, while you were writing and such?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can look at the page and still look at other stuff while I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Let us see here. Skeletons. Oh, I don't know. Alright. I will rush down. Now show me, where are these vampires?
So you're about to go down. To the Lich whose name I keep forgetting. Are they important to you or this library?
No.
See?
Okay.
I'm soft.
I'm gonna make it roaring.
Just wanted to make sure it's like, wait, this might be something else. Just in case.
I have no knowledge of what you speak. Actually. Nevertheless, don't let it trouble you.
When Sasha gets down there, because he's going down there first, did they mention they were in boxes?
Yeah, and they also
Okay.
kind of stick out.
So when I get down there, I see the boxes?
Yes.
Because Sasha's not waiting for anyone else. As soon as that
Yeah,
last
they're-
step
they're-
hits the ground, he
they're
sees the boxes, and then he turns and casts a level 5 fireball at the boxes. Insert
They are
us!
too spread out for one fireball to do it.
As many of them as I can get into one thing. Sasha just wants this to be over with as quickly as possible. He casts Insertus, Polkar, Imperio, and throws a fireball into the center of the boxes.
Okay.
Say there were 3 or 4 boxes?
There are 6.
6. Sorry.
I may have spoken incorrectly. We'll never know. Unless
And he's casting it
Review the
himself. He's not casting it on the staff. He has a 5th level slot open that he uses for that. Since they're going to be resting here, he's not going to need teleportation circle.
Your thing
immediately.
be able to count as a rest?
Is he going to take a rest after?
Well, I mean because it might be
No,
more prudent to
scribing-
use the staff because then the charges will come back at the end of the day. Whereas if actually copying spell
I'm
books
already
means you
down.
can't rest.
I'm already down charges on my staff, so I'm going to use my last slot.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the rest of the day to scribe spells, and then I'm going to go to sleep. And Sasha plans on spending multiple days here until what he's doing is done.
And we did stock up on rations, so
Plus, he knows he has Casimir by the balls. He can't get there without a teleportation spell, so you guys have to wait for Sasha.
and if Casimir decides to walk off,
We'll get there way before him. Sasha don't care. He got what he came for. Or not yet. He is in the process of getting what he came for. And is annoyed that he is being dragged.
we still do not know if there is a price for those or not.
No prices do I.
place is cold. But it just got a lot warmer.
Fuck yeah, it is. So I'm done throwing fireballs around. The place will be downright toasty.
Boy, will it. See, you can tell the boxes are perfectly harmless. Because there's candy on the board. The candy signifies harmlessness.
Yes, it does.
There they are. Put you right here. Other people are following after you and will be able to take their places. I say this in that you cast Fireball. And you cast Fireball.
Hitting the far side of the room, basically. I'm going to try to hit those three.
Oh.
The three on the far side. Because it's farther away from me, so it's easier to do.
Fair enough. Which happens. Immediately destroying the boxes and forcing several vampires to spring from their slumber, howling and hissing in pain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you?
It is at this point that combat begins.
I'm hoping these are just vampire spawns instead of full-blown vampires.
People are able to take places as like the cast happens and the spring up happens, as long as you aren't in
I should know my
weird
shield
places.
guardian's with me unless it physically couldn't fit down here.
Is it a wide staircase?
How big is it again?
It's a
Yeah,
large
the monster.
creature.
It's big. It's a large creature. It takes up 4 spaces, but like tall wise.
That's what I wanted, and I'm going to look at that once again because I think it might not have been able to come down here, but I'm going to double check.
Give me a shield guardian. I have a place where my shield guardian can't fucking get anywhere.
Hey,
It's bullshit.
we could have drew them up there.
Sasha's in too much of a rush.
It's a bit of a squeeze, and if these stairs weren't stone, we would say no, but they are.
Cool.
So
Then yeah, I have my
no
guardian right
big
next to
deal.
me.
So people can be where they desire,
Like
within
the
a certain point.
It'll be the 4 in front of me, basically.
Because you guys are fresh off of the stairs after, or when the fireball hits and combat starts proper.
Is here appropriate or too far?
I would like you to space back. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, there would be one up to make room for other people.
Sure.
My
What
golem is
about
there.
crack?
Oh, I thought when you said forward, I thought you meant like right there.
Golem is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
We're next to Ed's character.
Next to
Clearly, I should get a super
Here?
big pog that's just my shield guardian.
Outside.
Oh wait, just see if anybody has any more of those D&D monster figurines, and it's just one is just a shield guardian, because they make some that can fit on these maps.
That's true. Probably costs money though. I don't want to spend like $30 on a shield guardian figurine. As much as I absolutely want to spend $30 on a shield guardian figurine.
Do the
Maybe I'll do it anyway.
I can't even remember the name of that place.
Maybe
just
I'll
keeps
get
saying
it as a
Escort.
Christmas gift for myself.
is it-
Hero Forge?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, that is my shield guardian.
Okay.
So it's quite big.
Sure.
It's a, as they refer to in the business, a big boy. Big boy shield.
Bacon.
Yes, it's quite large.
In but a moment, I could arm myself.
And then he's up the stairs. Casimir's still on the stairs. It's close.
It's his new.
Couldn't arm wrestle Kendall because he has 23 strength.
Well, I mean, could be hard pressed.
I have 10 to athletics. Do you have advance or do you have expertise in it? Do you have
Is my level higher than Kendall?
no, your level's lower than Kendall.
4 proficiency, 5 strength. I'm proficient.
No, fuck you, man. But I can give myself guidance so I can actually do 4.
I could make my strength
Also,
22.
I can give myself advantage on the roll because of one of the new sorcerer things they give us. I can give myself an advantage on any ability check.
Oh,
In
your
this case, a
sorcery
strength check.
points, right?
Yes. It's actually really cool. I can use it to give me advantage on initiative, which is cool. Although I already have a dagger of warning, but I'm thinking of giving it to one of the other players because in theory I can give myself advantage whenever I need to anyway.
But doesn't dagger warning also make it where you can't be surprised?
Yes, but
I guess.
it
Yeah.
seems more fair to give it to someone else who can use the advantage better.
Get the full effect.
Yeah.
Fair.
Do tell, what did Siguror get?
Apologies.
As much as I like.
19.
Also, I guidance myself before I came down, so I got a little initiative bonus because I wasn't concentrating on anything. So.
Are you sure you weren't in too much of a rush?
He's not so much in a rush that he would forget that. He is in too much of a rush to wait for positioning or anyone else. Like, it's lucky they all followed me because I would have started this fight down here alone.
Well, it's not lucky. They care about you.
28.
That's pretty cool.
Someone's gonna get fireballed again. Oh, and I'll roll the damage for my fireball.
Cool. And what about crack?
Finally rolled a good on my initiative. That's crazy.
That reminds me of something I do want to try to see. Just the. Is there a dragon one that gets a bonus of fire damage?
No.
Probably.
There is a sorceress background called Draconic Bloodline that you can use to give yourself a damage.
And you
bonus
have
fire
to be a dragonborn to get it, right?
No. Really? No, you could be a human who has a dragon, like fuck their grandma or something. And that's how the sorceress bloodlines work. It just means, like my paladin Kendrill, he got divine blood somehow, because that's how he's a divine soul sorcerer. I like to think Ilmatir just blessed him with divine blood, that his family doesn't actually come from a divine blood.
Nah,
it was
your
just a gift.
family had holy blood in a canteen that they've been handing down generation to generation.
Yeah, it's Demon Knight, clearly. It's exactly Demon Knight. I have a key that I can use to burn Billy Zane in cowboy boots and be like, man, this movie's crazy underrated.
I mean, it sounds really cool.
It's also
I haven't
shorter
seen
than I
it,
remembered.
Yeah, it's a movie where Will Smith's wife, before she was Will Smith's wife, drinks and then spits Jesus' blood directly into the bad guy from Titanic's eyes. And
Sick.
it kills him. Because he's a demon. It's a really cool movie called Demon Knight.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a dope movie.
What was the damage on that fireball?
7, 8, 9, 19. 31. 31 plus 8, 39 fire damage, unless they make a DC 17 dexterity save.
Would they on the first one due to being surprised? If it
They
was
might have
surprise.
disadvantage on it, I don't know.
I'm just forgetting.
I mean,
the
you can make
exact
the argument
rules.
if they don't know the fireball's coming, they can dodge it. But that's up to you.
Or I mean, where if they can dodge it in their coffins.
And you said how much damage?
39 fire damage.
Obviously, they were harmed by this, and then combat begins proper, and fittingly enough, given his impatience, it is Sasha's turn first.
Level 4 fireball.
Oh man.
Same group. Ugh. 4 ones? Are you kidding me? That's some bullshit. Okay, 10,
I mean, I guess I can understand it. I still wish like
23 fire damage on this one. Yeah, I rolled way worse.
I can understand. I guess them not wanting you to reroll. I really wish that feat allowed you to reroll ones instead of just changing them to 2s
Yeah.
for spell damage?
No, I think it would make a lot better of a feat if it lets you reroll ones. Because that's what Great Weapon Master lets you do. Maybe
Yeah.
they're worried that because you're rolling more dice, it's more effective. Like with Great Weapon Master, you're probably only ever going to be rolling like 4 dice at most, like if you crit with a Great Sword. Whereas with a Fireball, you're rolling 8. But I don't see.
But then if you just roll 8 ones, oh no, you dealt 16 instead of 8.
Men and women, pale of skin, sharp of teeth, but dressed in arms and armament not of this land, are scathed by flame, not yet destroyed, fairly hurt. It becomes Crack's turn.
That's not my turn, David. I still have 3 skeletons and my shield guardian.
My bad. It
It's
will
fine.
become
They need pieces
Crack's
for
turn.
those, just that way they're positioned.
Arrows, and they're going to be trying to pick off the vampires. Starting with the let's just say the pink starburst. One got a 9. I assume that misses. One got. Wait, they were surprised, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the first one got a 16. Does that hit?
Yes.
Okay. The first one did 7 damage. Does it resist non-magical weapons?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
I believe
3
like, you
damage.
knew that already.
Yeah, but I mean, my skeletons have no way around that. So
Well, I just fine.
the first one does 3 damage. I'm gonna roll for the next one. The next one missed. Also need to roll that. Third one hit and did another 3 damage. So the pink one has taken an extra 6 damage aside from the 2 fireballs. And then my shield guardian is going to move up 1 so it can hit this one, and then I'm going to move in here to still be next to it. I mean, I guess I'm still technically next to it anyway, it's diagonal, so
Are you behind
don't
it?
worry about it. I need to be next to it for it to use its reaction to increase my armor class. So it's going to attack that one, and it's going to make its 2 attacks.
I should have described the vampires in these boxes after the fireball like leap up to attack.
Right.
Things are still going, but I
Oh, okay.
forgot about them.
But they actually look like you're wearing
Can I get the
foreign
rest of it
stuff.
real quick?
Yes. It
Or wait,
mainly,
no, I wrote its stats. so
It
it's
mainly
talking about.
sticks out because you've been here long enough that
Oh, yeah.
you've started to get used to how things look.
I assume a 25 hits, and it deals 8 damage halved to 4 because non-magical. Yeah, the shield guardian's attacks don't count as magical. 13. Oh, ooh, I should do that. I didn't think about that. I assume a 20 hits, and this one deals 5 damage after reduction.
Okay. The first one was 3 and this one's 5?
Yes, so it dealt a total. No. First one was 4 and this one was 5. So it dealt a total of 9 damage to the vampire
Okay.
as it punches twice with its big guardian fists.
Big, strong.
It batters the pale, animated corpse of a gnome. Or what was once a gnome.
A gnome vampire is very silly to me.
And yet it will still do its best.
I'm like imagining the
Oh,
leprechaun.
bite your fucking thigh!
It reminds me of the leprechaun. It's making me think of the leprechaun from
Yeah,
Is that your turn?
that is my turn.
Cool. Now it's Crack's turn.
So if I do Crusaders next, what's the bonus action? So does that take my turn?
If you do it from the Lost Sword, I think it is.
I also think this.
Yes.
So it's a bonus action.
And if it's not, you can use an action to activate Crusader's Mantle, then use a bonus action to Hunter's Mark one of them, and then on the next turn. But I'm pretty sure it's a bonus action.
Me too.
I kind of forget.
Did you not write it down?
No, it wasn't written down.
Mm.
Don't worry about it. We'll look it up after.
Yeah.
Well, then So I do that from the surprise round and then my actual turn comes around.
No. I only got 2 turns because I went down there first,
Yeah.
basically, is how it worked.
Alright, so take my turn. Which one is
No, it wouldn't. You take a bonus action to activate Crusader's Mantle, and then you would still have your action to attack. It just means you wouldn't get your unarmed strikes after. You just get your 2 sword slashes.
But what if wait. Crusader's Mantle, that's concentration.
Yeah.
Yes, but Hunter's Mark doesn't require concentration for you because of the change to Ranger.
So if you want to do both of them, you can.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
The game world is your oyster to do as you will.
I'll do that because I'll at least get some damage left. And everyone else can get like a D4 damage.
Okay.
Before Radiant.
Yeah.
You enhance your comrades, and then prepare to release the pain.
Should be something that doesn't take damage.
Yeah.
So then we'll like
That would
up on your
be
next turn. Yeah, either it's
or
no.
these two.
Yep.
I'll do the brown and red one because that
red
one.
Okay.
That one I appreciate it's fucking spicy.
Okay. You prepare to visit the pain upon them.
No, it's spicy.
It becomes, if you would believe it, a couple of allies' turns.
I don't believe.
Damn, they rolled good.
Did they roll like 28?
What did you roll?
Not
Rolled
everybody, not everybody can roll.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a
Okay, guys.
crazy high roll.
Oh, yes, guys. Oh, yes, guys.
Van Richten, but
Yeah.
I don't know what his cantrips are. I'm saying it's possible. Wait, I do know one of his cantrips. He has mending because he used it during the thing with the lion.
Yeah.
He patched up part of his wagon with it. So I know he has mending.
Yeah, you fixed the lock, I think. Because the lock was broken. Because of the fucking saber-tooth
Broken.
busting the door.
Yeah, the hinges were broken.
Yeah.
It literally busted like one of the doors so it was only hanging on by a single hinge.
Where is that saber-tooth, by the way?
It's still there.
You could ask him. I'm sure Van would know.
I'm not interested in his cat. Because that's what Siguror saw last time. This is the cat.
Fair enough.
And fucking cat.
Irina moves into place and is preparing to attack this one.
Yeah.
If it's important for her to not,
No.
then just tell her. Otherwise, she's going to make some
Remember to add
attacks.
D4 radiant damage due to Crusader's Mantle.
First, let's hit.
Especially on the Crusader's Mantle because.
She's going to take some swings
Right.
with advantage.
Oh, multiple swings, huh?
Maybe not. Actually, I forgot. I'm in a different mode.
Well, if she leveled. She will get a second attack when she hits 5th.
Her swing is unfortunately a miss, though a narrow one.
Damn.
Esmeralda is the other one of your allies that gets a turn now. She'll be doing the same. That thing being attacked with advantage to it. She also. Connecting 3 times, stabbing, slashing, and hacking. I'm going to do some damage for her. But in the meantime, it's going to be Sigurdur's turn next. Or rather, it is. So, what's she going to do?
Just want to throw out there and ask. None of these guys look like they're, or none of these vampires look like they're wearing anything familiar to me. Would they? Just making sure.
Actually, one of them's wearing something kind of similar. It's a little bit of an outdated design, so it might have been like traded or something.
Maybe. Alright, run over to this one, take a stab, and rage, and yeah, I will attack recklessly. Since those ones are low.
Is Crusader's Mantle like per attack maybe?
Per attack. Every attack you do an extra D4 rating. It's a cool spell.
14 to hit on the first one.
That is a miss.
With a plus 1. As a 23 for the second.
That is it.
15 damage with blood spear, so 17 plus 2.
17 damage.
And it is magical. Yeah.
It is brought low. The dark facsimile of life has almost been snuffed out.
Okay, well, just in case, that one is surrounded.
It is surrounded by your ancestors and furthermore scalded by the holy energy visited upon you by your comrade.
So when you throw flames, run at one person, stab and surround them, and draw aggro from another one.
It then becomes someone's turn. Whose turn? One of the enemy's turns.
Boo.
This one.
It's face to face. Shield guardian. The gnome vampire.
This will be fine.
It looks upon it not with fear, but with excitement. I may disarm Lord Strahd's allies of this tool. It then attacks.
Oh,
Wait. You said disarm Strahd's allies?
Strahd's enemy. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute! Are we attacking friendly vampires?
No, you are not.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Hey! Man, this adventure's weird. Weird things have come up.
What, pray tell, is the Shield Guardian's AC?
17.
Okay. He first claws against its metal quite ineffectually. And then he sizes up and attempts to attack again, this time catching wood instead of metal, and is more effective.
That's damage.
For 9 damage.
Wait. How close is... What's that? What's that disadvantage? Because this is in the...
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't roll with disadvantage.
That's fine, you forgot. Just do it. But yes, all these attacks will
Thinking
be at
those
disadvantage.
3 are
as well
out of
as
place.
this trick. It's within 30 feet of me. Which means you just have to be which means all our allies are under the effect of the icon of Ravenloft.
That is a high shoot. And that is it, I think.
But it doesn't affect enemies, it affects them.
I thought it was undead within that area have disadvantage on it.
No, it's every ally within 30 feet has the effect of protection from good and evil spell. Which, while you have that spell, undead that attack you have disadvantage. An undead can be 1,000 feet away, but if it shoots me, it still has disadvantage because of the icon of Ravenloft.
That's weird to me.
Why? It gives a buff to everyone. A buff that protects against undead attacks.
2 enemies now go. In particular, these 2 that attempt to coordinate their efforts
they will both have advantage due to me attacking recklessly.
But disadvantage due by Icon of Ravenloft, so it just
So-
cancels each other out.
Are you sure it's not just the first one and it could harm you? You guys haven't suffered a struggle in a while. Perhaps I'm getting soft. Ignoring that it's a book adventure. Perhaps the problem is me.
I don't know. We were struggling pretty hard against Strahd the last time we fought him.
Well, you were.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I was struggling against Strahd a little bit before putting him down.
Temporarily.
You could call yourself Strahd Slayer if you wanted.
I have something. For when we face him.
The once elven man managed to rake his claws not once but twice within Sigurd's self.
Not to point it out, but potential Strahd Slayer.
If you want to be dishonest, you can call yourself Strahd Slayer. I wouldn't count it because he's still alive, but if you want to be shady, you'd be like Strahd Slayer. Kind of, sort of, you know. Yeah, maybe. First attack, 460 damage.
Okay. If you want me to just reduce these yourself from rage?
If you would, yes.
Okay.
The second one, however, inflicts 17 damage, catching something vital beneath.
I wouldn't crit, I'm guessing.
It hisses in bestial pleasure at its deed, as its companion moves to attack you.
So a lot of these vampires today look different from each other. I'm just curious.
They do. In fact, like, taking a quick glance between them, like, there's no connection between their outfits or their appearance, except for a couple of them are human.
So these might all be like past adventurers. Or something.
Get on one known.
Another one attacks.
With the regular, because it has disadvantage from the icon.
It's flanking, though.
I remember the rule for advantage and disadvantage. They will always cancel each other out, and if you have two things of advantage, it doesn't matter because you have
Yeah,
one thing of
they
disadvantage.
just roll. They just roll normal.
Well, I forgot that, and I don't like it.
Hey, it affects us too with that.
Yeah, but I
I'm like,
care
I don't
about
like it
I
either.
care about me. I also care about this undead spawn not reaching you as its attacks miss. Your defensive skills and your protection from a higher power or an icon of such serve you well. It becomes someone's turn. But whose turn?
No, we should ask about that.
I'm having a bit of trouble, but I found it. It is the ally's turn next. Specifically, Vader, let's go with these attacks on this one.
Be thoroughly impressed if you manage to kill that thing on its turn. As far as I remember, it's only been hit a few times.
That's how it always seems.
I don't know. I can't feel anything.
Oh yeah, because they don't get the region because of the raid. Well, the ones that have been hit by raid.
Which should be everybody. Except for a couple. Most even. Thought I wrote a card for it, but I did not. There will also be an enemy who's going to go after this. saying that Van Richten is assaulting. Believe it or not.
Actually, I think only 2 from one region. The rest of them won't. One is it? Yeah.
The
He manages to strike twice to decent effect. Ooh. The creature he engages howls in a unique pitch of pain. It snarls and attempts a retributive strike.
Hopefully this
Managing to connect with one of its attacks.
And who was that on, by the way?
Return.
Okay. He's out of control.
Yes, that one.
I have a gooch.
5 feet.
Oh, really?
within 30 feet of
What a prick.
Like that
You wanted to get advantage. I can't blame him.
becomes some allies' turns.
We still could move that thing at the end of the attacks. No, you can't. Because from this mark, those positions should be this one fucking suck.
Jesus.
Ismark moves forward, swinging 3 times. Connected once.
Once, really?
Unfortunately, yes.
I only hit once.
Yeah, you're right.
Damaging this one further.
Nothing.
Casimir hurls flame from the stairs.
Get the fuck down here, you dead asshole.
However, he misses. Then becomes this one's turn.
Oh, again?
Yeah, I thought that one went.
That was one that spiked.
It
Yeah,
The
that
gold?
attacked the
did.
guardian.
Which I think means it's back around my turn, isn't it?
This one hasn't gone right because I have one enemy.
No, that one is not.
It.
So I think about that.
Okay. Shield Guardian is here.
Yes.
Okay. It.
Brave, damn.
No. Maybe. Yes, actually. It moves.
And attacks shield maybe?
It moves. It doesn't attack Shield Guardian. It goes after as Relda.
Remember they have disadvantage.
Anymore.
Why?
was it was a strategic move. I'm not very good at strategy, but occasionally. That's all I know. Occasionally. Terrible. I don't know where everybody learns strategy.
Stratego. I think there's a board game about it.
Impossible.
Tactics games mostly. I played a lot of tactics over as a kid.
A bit of Esmeralda's blood is drawn. She scoffs.
Bear Guardians to help reduce the damage. It says she is within range.
Sure.
Her by 6.
Eliminating almost all of the damage. Instead of scoffing at it, she hails to you. Thank you. It then comes back around to Sasha's turn.
So the first thing that happens is the shield guardian rejects 10 health, so that it can go fuck itself.
The splinters just.
And yeah, they're literally, as they're pulling themselves together, Sasha will say, "Is that really the best you have? It is no wonder Strahd left you to die in a suicide attack against us."
He is.
Siguror, do me a favor.
He's visibly disheartened.
Duck. And I cast Fireball again.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's
buddy.
not my turn, and I can't hit the ground. It's fine. I have a lot of health.
Sasha assumes you'll be okay, more or less.
Yeah. I mean, probably better than Crack was that last
and
time.
I will
You
use-
fire breathed him.
We were level 2, come on.
Yeah, I'm probably better off.
I will use the staff to fire a level 10 fireball this time. Or level 5 fireball. I cast level 10 fireball.
Where the hell did you learn that, guys?
Do you know what those YouTube videos are about?
Been pulling his back on him?
Okay. Fuck these guys in particular. They take...
I know it won't do anything, so I'm just bringing up the shield.
Two of them
I know
made their
that's
saves,
nothing.
but it probably won't. Well, it might matter. We'll see.
33 fire damage.
Okay, and what is the save to beat again?
17.
Oh,
So you need to make that save too, to determine whether you take 32 or less.
That's a deck save?
Mhm.
Yay!
You have advantage on it, so maybe we'll be fine.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's just 19. Because I don't have anything. So
So you
that
take
is...
16 fire damage. It's not that bad. And you have the Ring of Regeneration, so honestly, Sasha was more or less fine because he did. I forgot you had the Ring of Regeneration, but I guarantee you Sasha didn't. So he's like, we'll be fine.
Oh, I forgot that I had it, considering we walked all the way back through. We backtracked and then went into the tomb and then talked a bunch and then came back up. It was like, that would have taken us.
Probably.
Yeah. What's 6? What's 6 potential?
So yeah, 16 if they save, 32 if they don't.
Semantics.
A flame again explodes at the center of them, while one manages to hold on, two would not. As these two are destroyed.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but I still have skeletons. They're gonna focus all their attacks on that guy. I'm gonna roll 3 attack rolls.
It's pretty messed up.
Does a 15 hit?
I will check. I think it does. It does.
Okay, so 2 of them hit. Dealing 2 damage and 3 damage. So 5 total damage.
5 total damage.
Yeah. After reductions. Wait.
Yes, D4.
Oh yeah, D4
D4s.
from each of
Yep.
them, because
D4 radiant from
who
each.
say that?
Okay.
So actually an extra 4 damage on that. So 9 damage.
Not
Total.
bad. Not bad. I mean, it's split between 3 things, but
It is more than not bad. It manages to destroy it.
Hey.
It perishes.
And then the shield guardian will attack the gnome after laughing at its futile attacks. It'll also move to flank with Esmeralda, and I will move to still be next to it so it can activate its ability on me. So I'll move here. It'll
Would that provoke? I mean, it probably doesn't matter because it's shield guardian, so whatever.
It would provoke one attack of opportunity from this one if he wants to take it, but I don't care.
I was just thinking about the kiss.
I don't
think he's
I
gonna
don't think the
focus.
shield guardian has whip save. Did you do D-force?
Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
And I did the defaults here. Both the attacks hit. One does 11. Cut in half, that's 5. 5 bludgeoning damage and 1 radiant damage, so 6 total damage. The other one dealt 8, 12, 6, 9 total damage, 3 of which is radiant. So it punches twice.
For some reason, I feel like they should have like a slam attack.
That is their slam attack.
Small
Slam?
creature.
All all slam means it's old D&D. It's an old D&D term. It basically means any monster's attack that's just like I hit you because I'm big is called a slam attack. It doesn't necessarily mean your body slamming them. For a lot of things, it's used to describe like punching on creatures that aren't monks.
Huh. Oh yeah, because
So like when Golem just swings its fist at you, that's a slam attack.
because
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
kind of just flailing with style because it doesn't necessarily.
It is.
It's a Warforged's
Cracks.
attack. Back in 3.5, they used to have an extra unarmed attack where they could just swing their fist at you.
So, let's see.
So
I said
you have
crack.
this one marked,
Yeah.
Move
so you
myself
can do all
back
your
and
attacks
keep
and do a check on the damage on that one.
Yeah, right. See, that's heard.
I'm running between 2 spaces. Would you need to share that safe, right?
Yeah.
I do want advantage. I'm not that. Get ready.
You have it from my arena.
Fine, I'll do that.
Yep. Oh, so we're gonna rest after this, so go ahead and swing. It's not gonna matter.
Alright. Oh, do that.
In my
Grant
opinion,
me
I could be
4.
wrong. Strahd could show up right after this, and Sasha could be like, "Fuck, I'm never gonna get anything done with you people."
Well, do we know that Strahd can see through his
I'll
swamp?
spend a key point to grant me 4%.
Alright.
Ooh, crit.
You could cast the sanctuary as we're laying down.
Okay.
I'm more partial to simple and clean, but
You know, I used to be too, but when it sounded like a huge leap here, I kind of like the Japanese version of Sanctuary. It's nice.
Also,
I haven't heard it, so I can't even try.
Yeah, showed up in my
18
sidebar.
damage on that one.
On this
Oh,
one?
wait.
Oh, and Hunter's Mark, so
Yeah.
2 more d6.
So, that's 18 plus
25 damage on that first hit.
set up
On this one, yeah.
Yeah.
like be ready to go, right?
That's a pretty good
And I
damage.
could stay in the same place and cast it every day for a year till it becomes permanent, but
No. I mean, like, say, get like almost done. It's like, okay, now you just need to click this line and it'll
No.
cast.
My second attack.
it's not an alchemy circle.
Damn.
You don't work that way.
That's 25 to hit.
I was a little slow on the math. That excellent first strike manages to kill this man.
Okay.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
And then you can continue your work.
What space is that? I still should have
Like
enough.
2, you have enough.
Yeah,
to get
you
anywhere,
you
basically.
can be anywhere.
I'll attack.
Flash, Flashbird.
Yeah.
Now, I should note you won't have Hunter's Mark on the rest of these attacks
yeah.
unless you use your bonus action to switch it over, but then you lose your 2 unarmed attacks. So I would just take the
Yeah.
3 and ignore the Hunter's Mark.
Yeah,
Because
so-
you have Crusaders.
Okay.
So
fastest bird alive.
He might be. Like,
No.
he's fucking fast.
Not yet.
I'm sure there are magical birds out there. that
Yeah.
are like, I'm faster.
I mean, on land.
I'm a rock, so like I don't have class.
That's cheating.
So this
rock.
is my other sword attack.
It's a bird.
Got a 21 to hit, which I assume hits.
It does.
And I
Your
got
blade finds undead flesh.
14 on that one.
Inflicting 14 damage.
And then one raise. So my fist attack
I just fired one because you're
got 27.
I really want to do
It
those
does.
now. I'm gonna go for
Though
fire.
they are varied in dress, their AC ultimately works out to 15.
Right.
Some of these guys' armor is a little worse off, a little better off.
I feel it.
So
11 damage on that one.
That means what? Suggestion thing.
I don't think I want that.
And then,
It's kind of just a tussle. That's not the main point of the video. It's just.
got 25 to hit on that last one. Fire like another 8 damage.
Clean up the rest. You become a fire god.
So, 8 damage on that last one.
This is pretty good. It was largely untouched before this, but you are rapidly changing that.
Yeah.
As it's hurt, harmed, and seared with radiant energy.
Yeah, it's very good. So, good on that.
It hisses in defiance. It becomes Irina's turn. And this gives you Esmeralda's turn. So, fun times are about. Actually, why not cast a spell?
Does she prevent an attack opportunity for backing up?
Which
Rowan.
she was here.
Oh,
I
okay.
moved and I thought again. I was
Sorry.
like, let's not do that. Let's have her cast a spell. Specifically, let's have her cast magic missile.
Cool.
She fires darts of arcane energy into this one.
That's close.
Harming it yet more. And then Esmeralda goes, harming it yet more.
Good.
Taking full advantage of crack on the other side of it. She
Make
moves
her
into
3
it.
attacks.
Taking the advantage of you will.
She had advantage on all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Only with 3.
Not bad.
Just saying.
Well, if she hit all.
Don't want to deny her a possible crit or something. She could bury his hatchet. Her
She-
hatchet in this thing's head.
She did critical, but she will connect 3 times instead of 2.
Oh, those would be 4.
This is true. First, she pierces it in its chest, seeking its heart, though she knows it not yet. She then slashes across its leg and lower left hip. And lastly, hacks deep into its right shoulder.
Nice.
Harming it significantly. Maybe bite, though it is deeply, deeply harmed. Its cries of pain garner no sympathy. As then becomes Sigurdur's turn.
If I remember correctly, the goal.
I think. Is it there?
Yes.
Okay. Then it's just. This one's still up, and is this one?
Yeah.
This one looks like it has more HP. Or.
Should we have it on?
Sorry, which one looks less damage?
This one looks less damaged.
Then I'll
You
strike-
would think it would be the other way around.
Then I will strike at that
Quantity
one
beats
first.
quality here, at least.
I'll strike at that one first, and then the one to my side.
I also
Oh,
should
that's-
trap all these guys in a room with this thing. Maybe. This is a locked door.
I also should have asked if I would have advantage on this one where I am. With
Yeah.
the already in here. Okay.
Will also crack.
Okay. 19 for the first. And okay. 27 for the second.
Both successful.
First, second.
Though their level of armoredness is varied, they all work out to 15. At least here.
16 damage for the first, making him surrounded, and 16 for the second.
That last
On
strike
this one.
manages to put that down.
Liches?
This one.
Yeah.
Because you were targeting this one, right?
Yes. First attack, second attack.
I thought they were both on the same. We talked about not quite. Then.
Okay.
It's pretty hurt though.
But this one is surrounded for.
And
What's
that
this
one
one?
is guarded on all sides by your ancestors.
Then it should be Van Richten's turn, right? If I remember correctly, it's Van Richten, then it's Mark, then.
Almost. It is this one's turn. And then it will be
Oh.
this motherfucker.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
But after that, it should be Van Richten, then it's Mark, that. Castamere, then back to me. I believe.
Text you or something.
Yep.
What would vampire potential vampire spawn do surrounded by 3 people with an ally right next to him?
First and foremost, it's going to assault Siguror.
Ah.
That's what it's going to do.
So roll normally because of that quick. I kind of right now.
Since your AC was 17,
Correct.
it lashes out twice, grasping, clawing for any advantage it can get, but it gets none. Then comes the carry time. Merciless, efficient. He closes in, and he gets some bonus damage against the dead spoiler, and is able of destroying this one with how close it is.
Almost like he's some sort of famous undead hunter.
Oh,
But that's crazy.
Ismark. Moves to join the rest of his companions. And attack. Managing. Double check, but I believe managing to connect 3 times. This is not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Yes, managing to connect 3 times.
Can he not do enough damage to kill it?
Just let him roll.
Yes.
did earlier. And you only hit with one.
That is some damage. I don't think it finishes off. We'll verify.
Still thinking of this.
Not bringing it down, but drawing copious amounts of undead blood and flesh, splattering it across the floor as he slices with great clarity. 3 times. Then comes Casimir's turn.
Hey, finish it off. Be useful this time.
Such a dick, Jeff.
Casimir throws flame from the stairs. Connected for damage. How much damage? Some damage, as the creature is scalded. It then goes back around as you have foretold to Sasha. Or should I say, as it was foretold?
Okay, let's crash. I didn't expect it to get back around, to be honest.
Maybe you don't have to do anything.
Magic missile. 12 damage. If it's still up after that, I'll roll the Guardians.
Let's go.
I think
It's-
that's it.
It's,
Okay.
though it is close, it's undead remains in the light of your soul.
Guardian got a 15.
To hit? Or
Yeah, to hit.
that hits.
That hits. Okay. And the other time, it got a 17, so that hits as well. So, first attack did.
Gosh.
7 damage, 7 physical damage plus 2 radiant, so 9 damage. And then the second attack did 1 less, 8 damage.
Under its relentless assault, this creature is destroyed.
Okay, and as that happens, Sasha will immediately turn on his heels, walk over to Esmeralda, place his hand upon where she was wounded, and cast a Cure Wounds. Since he still has a slot for that, healing her for 8. Is that enough to heal her the rest of the way?
Yes.
Okay, he heals her the rest of the way. And
Thank you.
no problem. Irina, good job. Everyone, if Casimir wants to turn himself into a zombie, that is the price he's willing to pay for the power to bring back his sister. I will hear no more of it. If you need me, I will be upstairs. Irina, come. And as you know, as he's saying this whole thing, he is like walking up and just...
That last part's kind of just.
Yeah, as
downstairs.
he's up the stairs.
Less, not as quickly as you, Irina, like, looks and follows. Nismark follows after. The rest of you are free to do as you will, as are you out of character, because we're going to take a quick break. And we return. Sasha is able to resume his study.
Xanther, I have need of another spell. Something to imbue my Shield Guardian's fists with magic. Elemental magic, specifically.
I believe that can be done.
Thank you.
He grabs another
I
helmet.
don't know what I ever did without you. And I will jump for the book. Thank you. And I will begin scribing.
What will the two of you be doing?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be going on. Probably be very hesitant to go for books at the start But if it looks like we're gonna be here for a few days, yeah. First is just gonna be
Play a game with dice. With a
sorry, just going over gear, like refreshing the runes and stuff that I've etched, and basically just taking a price of everything that's we got.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll ask Ismark since he's not going to do anything. He wants to play a game of dice.
He says, sure.
Alright.
Anything to pass the time.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe there was a question about something. I'm going to forge around.
I'm also just double checking. Magical weapons never have a need of being sharpened and such, right?
I've never read the lore on them, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Now,
Oh yeah, this guy might be interested in the runes which are magic.
you will have, or rather, you eventually learn that you will be here for multiple days, unless anyone in your group has a problem with that, which, there are a couple people that would like to get moving sooner, but if it can't be helped, it can't be helped.
Good.
I feel like the changes in the wolf, the longer we stay, the more likely Strahd is to.
3 days. That is all I need. And I may remind you that you have no way of getting back without me, so. Just saying.
So long as it is purely necessary.
Oh, I assure you it is. Xanther. So, Inks. How much would you be willing to part with, and we can pay you the gold? Yes.
Now, that entirely depends on what specifically you are looking for.
Inks for describing spells.
But for scribing which spells? I will likely receive no more inks for the rest of my unlife. Unless...
That is not true, Xanther. Once we have defeated the Devil Strahd, passage in and out of here will be available. So not only does that mean you will be getting a fresh supply of inks, but you will be getting a fresh supply of adventurers who will come here seeking this place's secrets, yes? So perhaps it is in both of our mutual interests for me to have as much ink as possible, yes?
I would like a persuasion roll.
It's been a new day. I'm going to roll my portents real quick. 20. I got a 20 persuasion because one of my portents was a 20, so I'm just going to use that.
Wow. Has the rest happened at this point yet, or? Because we
not
stay.
yet. There's like a little bit of time. There will be more time. So you, barring anything that makes me a liar, you will be able to rest. So go ahead and do it. Even though at this point in the narrative it hasn't happened, it's going to.
Okay.
And again,
then
unless
I'll just-
anybody makes a liar of me, I don't think.
In case
You'll be
something
disturbed.
happens, I'd probably be healthier because of the ring of regen.
No, the
Minus
answers. There are spells. Spell of seeming.
Perhaps. There's some that I would be willing to wager on your success, at least.
Yes.
I forget the exact amount, but he's willing to part with, like, whatever, like... Oh, no. It's different cost per different level, isn't it?
Yes. So a 5th level spell is 100.
Okay.
It's 25 gold per spell level, unless it's a divination spell, then it's half. So to add a
Pretty
5th
good.
level spell into my spellbook, it's 125 gold.
Unless it's divination, which
Then 75, which is
Yeah.
how I was able to scribe so many, is because I scribed multiple divination spells.
He is willing to part with 15 levels worth. Whatever.
Okay,
Amount you will
so
total.
375 gold worth of inks.
I think
Thank
so.
you, Xanther. And I'm going to add 3 more spells. Now, David, after the second day has passed, before we get to the third day, before we get to the day we're going to leave, where are we sleeping? Are we all just sleeping in the library?
That's up to you guys as far as discussion goes.
If Xanther doesn't have a problem with it, then what have you?
I have some things, maintenance I must do upon my friend here, and I will require privacy for the night. Is there a place I can do this work alone?
Well, the basement is cleared up, is it not?
Your friend is correct. There are other places, though I believe they are less spacious than below.
That is fine.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of room down there. Right.
Xanther, would you mind showing me?
Of course. I don't care what he's just referring to. Like downstairs, like in the basement that you're in.
We cleared out the vampires.
So it's cold down there. Can I perhaps use the room we found you in? It's not far from here.
I don't see why not.
Thank you.
Time to go through the barbarians. Just, hey guys, how's it going?
Now, Xanther, and this is once we've started to leave away from everyone else. Is anyone following me?
Do you believe this is a good idea to separate yourself
I
from
will
far?
be fine. It is fine. Xanther is with me. Nothing will attack us, yes?
With the shield guardians.
Esmeralda says, surely a little bit of company won't help. I won't tell anybody your secrets.
On her.
It's not so much secrets as that it will be incredibly boring, yes? Mind-numbingly boring.
Schooling for Irina.
No, it is work on the golem.
She gets in a little close and says, maybe I would be interested. This has never happened before, but she's trying to convince you. I'm just going to treat this as an opposed charisma thing.
No, I give her a 10 for her roll, because that's my other portent. And I myself am going to roll just charisma?
Yes.
Okay. 17. I assure you it will be fine.
She pouts a little, if you say so.
Thank you. Now, once we get to the room, I will say, Xanther, where are all the sarcophagi?
There are, and he details... There are 6 vaults, as well as the sarcophagi that are in the basement.
Yes. Can you do me a favor?
And what would this favor be?
My friends will not understand what it needs to be done to defeat Strahd. I need you to let me know so everyone is asleep. Do we have an understanding?
If you wish.
Lich, right.
I am not your servant,
Of course, I am asking a favor as a...
but in the effort of sharing knowledge, how could I resist?
And it is a favor from a brother academic, yes? No servant.
I have already agreed. This is why I am still here.
Thank you, Xanther. And once he gives me the signal that either everyone or almost everyone is asleep, I'm casting visibility upon myself, and then I will go to each sarcophagus and see what they're offering.
Okay. When you were doing your maintenance, there is a point where you, Crack, are asked, are you still interested in the secret of flight? It would be a a simple matter to escort you to the proper sarcophagi that holds it.
I'll see what he's offering. Or it's offering.
Then you merely follow me. In fact, and he once again asks, are there things that the rest of you require? This place holds many secrets.
I suppose rare history books, ones that may not be available elsewhere.
There's history of fashion here, but this is more a place of strength than of pure academical knowledge. No stranger to the ways of magic yourself, and he points to if there is a visible room nearby.
Yeah, because
Otherwise, he displays how observant
one of the
he
runes
was.
is on the shield and one's on the sword. Long
Perhaps there is something that could enhance that power.
Also doubtful. These are granted directly from the gods themselves.
You would be surprised what the likes of men can do. But I will leave you to think about it. As for the rest of you, Irina, shakes her head. I think I'm fine here for now. Ricciavio, obviously, says, I am also fine. Esmeralda says, I'm a little cooped up. I think I'll explore a little myself, but I'm not particularly interested in dark magic. Says, well, if you change your mind, I'll be more than happy to help you.
As soon as he leaves.
Well, he's going to leave with Crack,
Okay, yeah.
because Crack wants to check it out.
Are you fine going alone? Do you think it is wise?
Yeah.
So I added, the day before, I added Seeming, Gesh, and Dominate Person to my spellbook.
Seeming?
Yes.
Was the golem maintenance not happening on the first day?
No, it was happening before the start of the third day.
Okay. Just making sure. So, okay. Technically,
So during the
there's
second
a little more
day,
studying
the second day when I added,
people are offering, and that will happen in due course. You say it's fine. Bertavio says, still, someone should go with you. And Ismark, you are not currently busy. And Ismark goes, I suppose I'm not.
Would it be wise?
If you don't object.
Sasha at least have the goal.
No, he isn't.
He can follow the Birdman.
Then you are escorted. You and Ismark are escorted. Now, I will run through real quick, because there are a lot of sarcophagi, there are a lot of gifts.
Yep. Sorry, I hate to do this to you, but
I mean, for him.
It's a part of one of your features, the endless pursuit of knowledge of you have to know, right? Isn't that one of your...
he likes to know his enemy before he goes in, but no. One of my things is not the pursuit of knowledge at all costs.
Okay, I am making sure that I've got the right place, because you are led, I do believe. Yes, you are led back to, do you remember when you first came in, there was a hallway that had 3 sealed doors, one of which Esmeralda opened, and then Casimir was like, what about this one? And she was like, maybe. You were led to the one that Casimir wanted open, Funnily enough,
Ah, goddamn.
Xanther speaks the password, and you are granted access to a room much like the one that you've already been in that it is small. There are 3 amber sarcophagi within. Xanther points towards one and says, I believe that is the one that you are looking for.
Alright, I'll go towards it and touch.
You go towards it, and you touch it. You once again feel the cold, harsh weight of pure evil looking upon you, speaking to you. The voice whispers within, it is fitting that you seek me. I can grant you. Finding it. I offer you the gift of Tarchimedes, the gift of the worm. Out of character spell. Y or W-Y-R-M. It sounded like he was offering you something different. It might sound a little weirder when he tells to you, all you need to do to accept this gift is to devour earth and bone. A pound of each. Then the gift shall be lent to you.
Earth and bone.
A pound of earth, pound of dirt, pound of bones.
That doesn't sound that bad.
Huh.
Alright.
Once the gift is bestowed upon you, you must satiate it forevermore.
Wait,
But could it be such a small price
I have to eat a
to
pound of
fly
dirt.
forever?
I have to eat a pound of dirt and bone each day.
Yes.
That's,
Let's crack what is new diet to be a pound of earth and bone.
that's a lot of dirt and a lot of bone. And the body
For
isn't
flight.
really made to eat that.
For flight.
Question is, how would I get it? Well, I am a ranger. If I somehow learn survival, I could do that.
Instead of throwing away the bones.
Such a price is a trifle, is it not?
Okay, but how soon do I have to eat the bone and earth? As soon as I say yes. Which means I have to go find.
Once you have done so, the gift shall be yielded to you.
Okay.
Dude, there are vampires in the basement. Just rip out their bones and eat the dirt in their coffins. Is something that might occur to Krog.
Oh,
I don't know.
well, I am probably kind of with that.
Well, yeah, but you didn't
There's-
just kill them.
There is easily a pound of dirt.
Everywhere.
Is there a pound of bone?
Well, does the bone have
A,
to be
a
whole
human,
or can
a
it be
human
powdered?
skeleton
Yeah,
weighs
it's
like.
kind of dumb of me to say.
Technically, if he takes all the vampire bones, he'll have enough bones for like 60 days. Bones are heavy.
Yeah. The femur itself is about 5 pounds.
Yeah, a pound of bone isn't actually that much bone.
No.
What happened?
My bad.
Can I ask the
No,
thing a
not my
question?
bad. Go ahead.
What if I miss a day of pound of earth and bone? Of eating pound of earth and bone? Or don't have enough?
The gift of the worm is unrelenting and takes all, if not satiated all.
Meaning it would kill me. Or can I roll insight?
No,
Mhm.
you're positive that's what it means.
Flight and eating pound of earth and bone each day or die?
Well, I mean, does the bone have to be whole or can it be like powdered, ground up into some food and...
It does not specify.
Yeah, probably.
As in the voice.
Joke.
The entity didn't specify, and you feel like it would.
Yeah, you can probably just bone meal up some bread. No, I'm I'm serious.
No, I
Make bread
It's just-
with bone
it's
meal.
just silly to think about.
Now,
Oh, I'm just saying that's an option.
for what it's worth, it's what I get for not reading and speaking, but like doing both at once. Actually, it said it perfectly. I did not. It is either dirt or bone, but the dirt must be dirt from a grave specifically.
Really?
But the bone can be
My
from
bad.
anything.
No, you get to choose.
Oh, you pick one and that's what you're eating
It's
forever.
either or. I read it as both.
Wait. But you can switch which one each day, right?
Or is it you pick one and this is it forever? Final answer.
It doesn't say, but I'm going
I
to say you can.
assume. Yeah, I assume you can switch. That's
Or, huh?
yeah. Eat grave dirt if grave dirt's available to you. If not, carry around a shitload of bones in your house. Be the bone collector. Fuck it. That was a movie. You'll be
Was
crack bone collector. Yeah, there's a movie called Bone Collector.
Oh, okay.
He collects bones.
Or just the
You'll be like that shitty Darkness Falls movie. Always out trying to get teeth.
or just buy shitloads of like chicken or ham with the bone in.
Or just a live chicken and breed them. Live chickens. Live chickens.
It's what would crack do? I don't know.
Maybe a lot of
Yeah.
chickens.
Look at all those shit.
That fucking vine.
So dumb.
Look at all those shit.
The entity senses your hesitation and again encourages crack. A simple price for such a rare gift. But it cannot be yours.
What if I do this
Unless-
and I die? Crack on. Big price. Oh, he has a king fury. Does not fly. This is why he can fly.
You know the terms. You know the majesty that is within your grasp.
Alright, fine. Then cracks on.
You don't have to. You both feel and know that you don't have to tell it yeah or nah. Once you do it with the intent of doing it, then gift.
I'm eating
It's
the-
told you its terms.
Okay.
Alright.
Now, if you just randomly do it for funsies, maybe it might not work.
Huh, I wonder what bone tastes like. Tastes like bone.
I'm gonna need to taste a pound of it to find out.
I don't see what Jesse's allure to this is.
Well, he breaks it open and sucks out all the marrow. Like a dog.
Like a fucking tool.
Alright. I'll thank the guy and
Might you be curious about the others? I don't think that they relate to flight, but perhaps it might be something else that will catch your fancy.
fine. Alright.
He's delighted as you check out the other two. There's one.
Yes, I managed to get one of them. Yes.
Good. Everybody else is squares. Except that wizard guy. He's good. Except the wizards. It's always the wizards, isn't it?
Oh boy, the great offering of magical power. Man, it's only the wizards that go for it. Shucks.
There's one that you touch. Again, you're in the throes of evil, even as you stand in the empty air, as a voice, raspy, whispery, hails you. I offer you a wonderful gift. The gift of Shami Amore, the Lady of Delights. I'm looking for the cost because it's going to articulate that to you. It offers and waits expectantly for a response, articulating no trade or cost.
What's the gift?
The gift is the gift, as was said, it is the gift of Shami Amore, the Lady of Delights.
Oh, so it's playing coy.
Oh.
The other one didn't say that it specifically dealt with flight. It just called it the gift of the worm, as you remember. Xanther
Expound it.
somehow knows what it is,
Oh.
or believes. Technically, the gift of the worm didn't promise you flight, but the voice seems eager and seems to think that you're aligned, which, kind of gives it away. It's probably not going to be some weirdo shit. It's like, oh, I didn't say. No,
I'm gonna take my hand off and
Oh, you can only fly every third Tuesday of the
ask.
full moon.
I'm gonna ask the Lich guy, Xanther.
Xanther.
Yeah. This guy's after me to tell me I get the gift of, what was it, Lady of the Lights?
yes.
What is that? You know what the price is?
I'm afraid not. I do not know. I do not accept the gift. I'm above such things, if it offers what I presume it offers.
What do you presume?
I presume it offers some delights of the flesh, perhaps the ability to conjure consorts of some kind.
I'm not interested. No.
That's okay. That makes sense.
However, if you are truly curious, there's only one way to find out. If I remember correctly, it doesn't give you a cost, merely an offer.
But shouldn't some cost for a gift? Something like that? Shouldn't there be cost for that?
What's the other one?
There should be. However, some do not offer costs, but their magic still comes at a price.
Yeah, well,
In fact, I believe that is what happened to your friend.
right.
Some
So
change
some of them
you
transform
upon
you.
taking them.
Yeah, well,
If my knowledge is correct,
Cracked your
And it's
into an
always-
incubus.
Well,
An
it
incubus
often
kink.
is.
that was weird. Next one.
Sexy bird man.
you waltz over and touch another. Again, pure evil looks upon you. Dark whispers in your ear, offer you the dark gift of Savnok the Inscrutable.
That's it? Doesn't give me anything else?
It does not. However, at your incredulity, it does argue the efficacy of its gift. You're young. You know not of Savnok. But his scrutiny, his faculties were beyond question, beyond befuddlement. Do you wish your mind a fortress, your heart a castle? There are many things that change a person, influence a person in this world. It must be awful to worry about them.
What's the cost?
There is no cost for this power, merely its benefit and all that comes with it.
What comes with it?
Okay, so these things are better than I at ignoring your question. Oh, no, I know. Countless enemies and admirers. For such a power, all eyes will be upon you.
I'm gonna take my hand off and I'm gonna ask him, Xanther again, what it's told me and what's if he knows anything about it. Especially the person he says the scrupulous or unscrupulous.
This is a very ancient name. I've heard reference to it once or twice.
Inscrutable.
Yeah, unscrupulous.
I am not certain what it could offer. However, it does sound like quite an interesting power. if you seek to fight against Strahd, perhaps it would behoove you to protect yourself.
God, this fucking place.
God damn. I'm interesting.
Good.
Are you gonna do it?
Oh,
So I'm waiting on you.
I'll say yes to this one and see what happens. Miraculously.
Oh yeah? Okay.
How screwed is he?
Well, fuck. Jesus Christ.
So, you, your head, accept the gift. And upon, like, in your heart, accepting this dark power within you, you feel it surge, and its details are made ready to you. You can feel it. You know that your mind is truly a fortress, your heart truly a castle. Nothing gets by here. In game terms, you now are under the effect of what is effectively a mind blank spell.
Oh.
Right.
Only it will last longer than the spell.
Right. Is it permanent?
No. But very long. You feel that this power will erode eventually, but not for a while. In game terms, not for a year.
Okay.
Now, while nothing appears to immediately change, you suddenly have this sticky liquid, just kind of comes from nowhere, it's like drip down onto your chest.
Okay.
It's a little viscous.
Just on my chest, that's it.
Yeah. Couple little spots.
Okay, I'll ask him about the fucking the liquid.
He cocks an eyebrow and says, "Do you not know?"
No.
Whoa, wait. Like
Interesting.
a skull?
What did you get?
My mind and heart are fortresses, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what told me my mind and will be a fortress.
Say it within its voice.
Interesting.
I don't know if I could do that if it was talking in my head.
And he gets closer. He raises his hand, and nothing has changed. He waves his hand like in front of your eyes.
Nice. If he's trying to cast a spell, then
Quite interesting. No. Quite an interesting deal. I myself have found eyes quite useless.
okay.
And it seems that you are not impaired for it. Is there anything else that you would like to check out?
No.
Did he take your fucking eyes?
Very well.
Wait, what?
I will escort you back.
What? This is confusing. What?
You are escorted back.
Wait a minute, my eyes?
Crack comes in and no longer has eyes.
Really?
Got empty sockets.
Oh my god. Are you blind now?
However, he's... No, you're not.
You
can
can
still see.
You were talking
And
to
when
me.
you walk in,
Oh,
you're a little confused because there are varying looks of surprise to disgust or aghastness. You notice that, like, Esmeralda's in the room when you come back.
I'm immediately grabbing the blood for.
Oh,
What did you do?
Okay. I forgot that Ismark went with you, so I'm going to remove him because this is cool. Ismark would have been the first one to react. Actually, no. I'm going to say he's horrified, and when you look at him, he just kind of, and if pushed, says, like, we should get back.
Okay.
Alright.
I will definitely push him because why not?
Which is your hint, and then when you get back, people look at you as Ismark did.
And I was saying, immediately grabbing the blood spear, looking at the Lich, going, "What did you do?"
I did nothing. He merely accepted a gift from one of the sarcophagi.
You willingly did so after seeing what it did?
We gotta fight strong. How do I get out of here?
He seems to not be worse for wear. Despite his appearance, he seems to have retained his sight.
Can see fine. I see pretty well, I should say. Why?
See, because now he's very conflicted because no, but that's also what happened with Tyr.
Well, kind of.
Not quite the
No,
same.
but he can still see, even though he has no eyes. And
Yes,
Ah.
but it's a little different.
You went up a hand, or you talking someone else?
In D&D, he lost his hand. He's also blinded.
Oh, really? So, is there a mirror or anything?
Not in here, but someone might have one. You might have one, depending on your pack.
Right.
No, I don't have a
So-
hand for you.
I don't think I do. No. Doesn't look right.
You're
I'll ask him
eventually.
here, Jared. Does anyone have a mirror or anything that I can see myself? I'll see that word. I haven't.
After some brief talk, Irina says, I do.
Alright. May
It's
I see it?
and she points like towards a place where she set her stuff down and says, "You can. I'm not sure if you want to."
I'll do.
Are they still bleeding?
No.
Okay.
It looks like somebody very cleanly removed like his eyes. There aren't like nerves there. There's just holes.
Wait a minute. I wonder if I wonder if I'm gonna be blinded in a year.
When the effect works.
That's an interesting question. You look, and it is unsettling to say the least. As if someone has very cleanly removed your eyes and the nerves. It's like they never were.
And still seeing.
Gonna pull out a cloth and hold it over his face. Can you still see?
I see the cloth, right?
You can see the cloth, but when he puts it in front of you, like you can't see.
So it's blinded.
And I see the cloth.
So you cannot cover them.
Yeah, can't. I guess.
I'm not sure why you would want to. So some will be a little squeamish. So what?
Just gonna go back and sit down.
This is interesting. And awfully.
More study happens. Eventually, Sasha separates.
I'm gonna find Bond.
Okay, it probably wouldn't have taken you like a couple of days to do this, so you are okay. So there's a day where Crack comes back with no eyes. But apparently his mind is like a fortress and his heart's like a castle. And then he leaves. There's maybe a little bit of discussion where Irina asks, "Can you undo that?" And Van Richten honestly answers, "I am not sure." This place works differently.
The magic of this place, despite those that are claiming to be gods.
And there is some brief discussion, once Sasha has left, for timeline's sake, about, like, he went alone, is that a good idea? I'm not so sure. I'm worried about him. Do you think maybe Esmeralda went to maybe insist? I don't know. Honestly, she has will of her own sometimes.
I am hoping
This is the best and worst about her.
I'm hoping she is smart enough to not to touch any of them.
Absolutely. Though I would have said the same of your companion.
So would I.
Wherever he is. And Crack, actually, before he says that, you were able to go down. You were able to, it's difficult and maybe kind of creepy. I mean, clearly you're at a place in your life where it's not creepy. But, like, you make do with scarfing bone, which is not something that you are used to. You're doing bone and not dirt this time?
Yeah, man.
Okay. It is hard. Because bone is hard. But you manage, determined to choke down what you feel is a pound, like internally, and you feel something happen, like, to your back. And then after Rictavio has said, I would have thought as much to your companions, but now I am not so sure. Crack
thought so too.
comes back with these skeletal wings that are now in his back. You get to see them before you come up.
Dude, you look sick.
People, look, they are not. Yes, you can. So you could have. Actually, you probably found out that you could fly before you came back up.
Alright.
Because you do that. You know in your heart that you can fly. Specifically, an amount. I'm gonna look up the specific amount, but I believe it gives you like a 50 feet flying speed.
Oh my god!
Crack is so happy.
Then eventually you make your way back up, and people are obviously not as disgusted with the eyes, but they still look at you. Van Richten is silent. Perhaps internally saying whatever hardened monster hunter speak would be for fucking... God damn it. Because he is more reserved than that, but like...
Planting a spear in the ground, going a bit down the hallway.
Xanther like waves. You see, it is working out fine for him.
Yeah.
It did not even seem to cost him anything. Though, I believe that there was a price that you have paid, I presume?
Pound of dirt or bone?
Ismark looks.
The
Which did you pick?
You really want to know that?
No. And people ultimately leave it alone for a time.
Well, I got the gift of flight.
Boy, do you. I don't believe that there are stipulations outside of the limitation that is upon it. I'll double check and let you know.
I think this is a pretty good stipulation.
You know what's up.
Eat the pound or you die.
It's a good one. It's good. It's good. It's pretty clear.
I can fly. Crack is happy.
Eventually, there comes a time for rest, and there comes a time for sarcophagi inspection. We
Sasha sneaks away visibly.
are at the end of our time, but we will handle that. I'm going to tell you, either on camera or probably off camera to speed it up.
What they all do.
Yeah.
And then when we get back on camera, I'll tell you which, if any, I decide to take.
We will
That's how
tackle
you
it
wanna do
in
it.
some manner. like
God,
that.
all my companions are leaving, coming back as OCs. Oh my god. Fucking Build-A-Bear characters.
Hey, maybe. But in the meantime, that will do it for us. I have run the session and been maybe a little surprised. And am also artist David Harper on Instagram and Twitter, as well as part of the Paralore team, who's currently working on The Lonely Zombie, but also a project for the next round of the Esports Game Jam, I am also plugging away at an animated project called Treasure Takers, which is cool, and you can even donate to. I have a coffee, but I update that less, and that's it for me and my reminders. What about yourself?
There are no words, only emotions. But there are also words. I've been Mario Vilas. You can find more of me at Lights Camera Initiative on Twitter, where I speak for some of the people some of the time. Additionally, by the time this happens, I will have already done the Monsters and Other Childish Things game for charity. It went really well. You should check out the VODs of that on the Fuck Cancer Roll Dice Twitch. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Additionally, every other Tuesday or every other Monday, you can find me on the Tainted Lands channel playing Luca. Maybe someone else by this point. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's been all from me.
Cool. Closing thoughts before we leave?
I got the gift flag. It's fucking awesome. Greg is happy.
I guess the steel trap one wouldn't affect you very much.
I guess so.
I'm good.
Who knows? Maybe you'll find something you like too. But in the meantime, that's it for us. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.